Hey, K Dot,
Yeah, yeah.
can we get it how we used to get it, like when Top had the red charger? Can we get it how we used to get it, like when Top had the red charger? Can we get it how we used to get it?
Yeah, bone. And I got racks on.
Welcome. You've returned once again. Thank you for returning. Give a like, give a sub if you like it, if you sub it. It's the Koopa, it's the Marky, it's the guy. Looking pretty fly in the bony outfit. We're poo-cooing through the dark realm now. And I'll give some theories, I'll give some stuff on that, but essentially today we're just gonna, travel through do a little bit of the first zone or area of the Dark Realm. And specifically, I feel like the Dark Realm is kind of a short little, romp. There aren't too many areas, so hopefully we won't spend too much time here, get to the Dark Tower quite easily. But for today, Utopia is this way. It's just really where the Dark Tower is, and we're gonna figure out how to get there. Essentially, you just get a key, just get a key, and then the chief tells us where to get it, and all that good stuff. But it's some Dark Realm lore, essentially. And what's funny about this? We'll relate it to our theory today. I guess we'll just go ahead and get into podcast time now because, the story's not too complicated here in the Dark Realm, but it doesn't need to be. It doesn't need to be because it's more of like a basis for, the evil and light of the world, because you have to have both. You have to have both. So yeah, essentially, it should be easy to get to the Dark Realm, the Utopia, because, it's very easy to turn all of these negative, disgusting stimuli that we deal with every day and spin it into a positive and live in pure heaven, pure bliss for the same exact reasons that others, crawl and die and live in poison. Perfect example of that would be OnlyFans models. Some people thrive in that culture and some people die in that culture. And some people thrive while dying and some people don't realize they're dying while thinking that they're thriving. And that's just the nature of life. A lot of things, if you don't think about them too much, will just automatically become positive for you because your body's gonna fill in the blanks for what you're not seeing. Just like in a lot of shortcuts in our brains, in conversations, in details that we don't know about people or things. You see, guys, if you are a very stupid person, you probably don't know you're stupid, which is great. Hold on to that. Probably never want to find out. And on top of that, because you don't know you're stupid, your body's doing a lot of that heavy lifting for you instead of your mind, which makes some things that maybe perhaps should be bad for you turn into good things, right? Just because you're not thinking about them, they get integrated into the body. And, sometimes even, like even with smoking and stuff, people can get used to that. And then when they stop smoking, their body's like, whoa, guys, wait a second. I don't think we can handle this. I think we need to go back to the cigarettes. This is kind of crazy. Just like with any addiction, it's there to fill in a hole, a void or so that we don't have. So you have to recognize when you're trying to, especially when you're trying to quit addictions, to white knuckle it without anything should be detrimental to your health. I'm not saying you can't do that. I'm just saying it should be detrimental to your health. And if it's not, then well, one, you're built different, and two, definitely wasn't a good idea to continue that habit or that vice or whatever you're doing because you obviously didn't need it in your life. It was just something you were doing because you were doing. It was just natural instinct. A lot of the things in life we do, not because they're easy or hard or fast or slow or quick or efficient. We just do it because we've usually done it. If you don't think about things, you won't realize this. But yeah, most of the stuff we do is just natural processes because, we build up a combo of doing it. It just feels normal to do it now. So yeah, don't get too mad at how dark and evil the world is. The thing is, guys, it's easy to get dark. It's easy to get vindictive. And because those pathways are so easy to walk, we usually walk them. Now we are becoming so, numb to the evil stuff. It's natural. It's not bad. I mean, it is bad. So I don't want to, it is bad, but it's natural. Don't be mad at the world for making you this way. This is literally the natural way it's supposed to be, and it has been this way for a very long time. We can see it now. So even the people who are dumb are somehow convinced they're smart because ChatGPT sounds like a porn star name. I mean, it basically is. ChatGPT tells us we know everything, without us having to think about it. So because of that, I see a lot more, witness a lot more, notice a lot more. But yeah, I feel like today, now, especially for the dumb people, it's time to take away that noticing. I feel like that's what's really wrecking us, I feel like if this was truly pure utopian times, to me, there would be a lot more physical labor. Like, I know for the longest time, I was kind of, just like the basement dweller, couch potato kind of thing. But now that I'm in this sort of era of wanting to keep my momentum, my range of motion in my body, and just be able to move throughout life, very athletically. I feel like if there were more just physical-based jobs that both men and women participated in, we'd be a lot better off as a society, because we need jobs where people can just turn their brains off and turn big rock into small rock. We don't have those jobs anymore. And a lot of these people are crashing out, literally, because we gave the people that were back in the day just fucking picking grass and shit, we gave them cars now. That's a complicated machine, a complicated, fragile machine. You don't realize how fragile cars are until, two of them hit each other. And you're like, damn, man. We really gave someone with a 40 IQ one of these things? We just thought, this is gonna be fine, don't worry about it. Kind of crazy. And I don't think it's that bad until I get on the road and I get into 3 close calls any given day. And I'm not a bad driver. I've gotten to maybe one. I've literally gotten to one fender bender, and it was not a good one. But dude was like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine." And he drove off. No insurance or anything. And then later on, I paid the price because my car fucked up because of it. Because I didn't get it fully checked, And that's the thing, guys. With any event in life, all this darkness happens to us. It's gonna happen. I mean, look at the realm we're in. It's not just the internet. The realms kind of equate with the internet, but I'd say the darkness realm is the closest to society that we have here right now. The closest analogy. So, whenever these dark things happen to you, you do have to check yourself. You do have to do maintenance and just slowly rebuild. Don't take that pain from the last one into the next one, because then you're gonna end up with a fucked up car that builds up damage just because you didn't press the heal button. You didn't right of rain yourself. Good thing to know. But yeah, the natural dichotomy of trying to fix yourself can truly fuck our brains up. Because just like dating, just like careers or anything, what you chase is going to run away from you. So if you're chasing improvement, that's going to be constantly out of reach. Oftentimes, especially for us wide open thinkers, the best thing we can do is nothing. And that is very frustrating for me. I don't know about you guys who have brains. I hope I've accumulated a mass of thinkers. I know my audience is quite old. Very young kids here. But, oh shit, this is actually coming through the speaker. Let me mute that. The thing is, am I still recording audio? I'm gonna have to record this one again, because I don't hear it through my, no, I am still recording audio. Okay. Yeah, I don't know why my volume is coming through my speaker. That must have been some terrible audio quality for a second there. I apologize, guys. But sometimes my computer acts fucking weird, so who knows what's going on. Yeah, holy shit, I completely lost my train of thought, my range of motion. So, let me get back to that. What was I doing here? What was I talking about here? Oh yeah, the dichotomy of running from bad and chasing good. Yeah, honestly, you really just have to do nothing. Like, for example, we're just gonna use an example that you guys obviously know. Google Ads. You get tired of seeing a specific Google ad? I would say don't block it. Don't block it. For me, I'm going to tell you an actual anecdotal experience about this. So for me, I get tired of seeing Google AI chat, Snap AI chat porn ads, basically porn ads, where you have a spicy chat with an AI or whatever. You know, so I started blocking it, deleting it. You know, get this ad out of my face. Don't see more ads like this. This is sexual content, whatever. And you know what happens? I did not realize how many different apps there are that do that exact same thing. So what Google does, when you block an ad like that, that doesn't tell Google that you don't want to see that. That tells Google that this is an ad that you interact with. So because you blocked this ad, we are going to give you every other app that has this ad or has something like this. Because you blocked this one, so we know you interact with this kind of thing. As annoying as that is, there's really no way to force Google to stop giving you a specific ad. You just have to, you know, disengage with the particular content. So for me, I would just have to stop, you know, going on my search history or, you know, looking up weird VTubers on YouTube or whatever, which I don't want to do. I like VTubers. I have fun with VTubers, you know? It's like a girlfriend experience, so I can be alone forever. It's fantastic. No, but honestly, I do like watching a lot of gameplay. Japanese VTubers help me learn the language. You know, English VTubers are fun for, you know, just turning my brain off, chilling, chatting with someone. And lately, I've been tired of IRL streamers because they just seem, it's like the BoJack Horseman effect. They just seem so fake to me. You know, I have to get to some truly troglodyte, disgusting human to get a real opinion like Asmongold. And I don't think he's that disgusting. I think he's just someone who truly found the way he wants to live. And he's, you know, leaning into that. A lot of people hate that because they don't know how they want to live. Asmongold he knows exactly how he wants to live. So he's just doing it. And a lot of people are attached to that, I don't know what you want to call it, that clarity? You know? Clarity of person. Clarity of character. And I think we all want that. The problem is, so many people just lock into something in adolescence and say, this is me. I'm not changing this at all. You know, I'm not saying that's a bad thing to do. But you gotta respect your evolution. You gotta respect it and say, maybe I want a little bit more darkness. Maybe I want a little bit more light. Maybe I want a balance of both. Maybe I just want to change directions and, you know, what I'm looking for in life. A lot of times people think just because they wanted something in childhood, they have to drive towards it, not realizing that the methods they're using to get it not only are going to get them there slowly, but, you know, you don't like the methods you're using. So life really isn't about those results. If you have a big goal, I'm not telling you to give it up. I'm saying if you have a big goal, make sure the steps you're taking to make it to the goal actually make you happy. Because in reality, that big goal is going to be one moment in your life. You're going to have one party for that fucking goal. And then after the party, you're going to be like, well, time to go back. And if you didn't like that thing you were doing before, you're probably going to have to keep doing it. You know, whatever you did to get to that goal, probably have to keep doing it. So, never get good at what you hate, essentially. And luckily, I actually like doing this. Luckily. You know, we always doubt ourselves and we're like, oh, I can't do this. It's not for me. I don't like, you know, I'm not good enough for this or whatever. But like, it doesn't matter what it is. I don't care if you're bad at it at first. I don't care if you're amazing at it at first. What matters is that you like doing it and that it's your right character. Because a lot of people don't choose things because they're morally wrong depending on what they've been raised with, or morally right because it's, you know, depending on what they've been raised with. But we don't get to choose our parents. We were spawned here, man. We do not get to choose our points. So, you know, take note of that. I'm not saying your parents are wrong. They could be exactly right on what you want. I'm just saying there's nuance to that. There's nuance to that. I think it's my catchphrase. I'm just saying. That's all I'd be doing. All I'd be doing is saying. Super Saiyan, if you will. Mm-hmm. What's crazy about life is that oftentimes we are driven in 8,000 different directions, unless we vehemently reject everything else coming at us. That's the bullshit. And a lot of times we don't. I think about this a lot, that the way guys communicate is a lot different than the way girls communicate, right? And there's a lot of darkness in the way girls communicate too, the dark threads of women. Because there's a lot of influence there in the way they sort of hive mind to each other and, reinforce each other's beliefs. But deeper than that, I think there's truly like an underground network. People say, what do you call it? The girl code, doesn't exist anymore. There's no womanhood. There's no secret womanhood. But I honestly think there is. I really do. But it's not to help other women. It's not to help other women. The darkness of that is that it's kind of like the entire vibe shift that we've been seeing over, the feminist equality movement, essentially, that's been going on past couple years. I'd say probably since the Obama administration, that there's just this dichotomy between what's actually happening and what girls say is happening. And the internet would lead you to believe that all of this super connective and, communication is good, but I believe it's fucking the minds of our girls. It's fucking the minds of guys, but we have a choice to disconnect from that. Girls, I feel like they don't have a choice. And that's because, like, the act of getting out and communicating physically has been taken away from them. That's why so many girls go to the club and need people to take them out, because what is a girl going to do outside by themselves? Honestly, not much. Go to the gym, maybe? Honestly, not much nowadays. They need someone. Whereas a guy, I feel like there's just a lot more options for like solo activities outside, It's a psyop because it's really not that way. It's more of a perceived safety, because national surveillance is crazy in America. Like, you will get stopped if you're trying to do some crazy shit broad daylight, at least in Florida. 110%. And I don't care where you are in America. I feel like if you're in the right place at the right time, you're not going to get horrible stuff done to you. But because of the internet, because of this hyper-connectivity, everyone's just going to tell you it's safer to communicate the easy way. And of course it's way easier, so why would you not? But the way it's fucking us up is that essentially it's a lot harder to convey nuanced conversational details through text. I would say almost nearly impossible. And because of that, a lot of girls play it safe and tell them what they want to hear to keep the connection going. To keep the flow on. And then, once they get to someone that actually connects with them, a date, whatever, then it all comes spilling out. Here are my real feelings. Here are my real emotions. And then guys are like, whoa, this is too much. I don't know what's what. Because we have these emotions, we have these feelings. They just don't matter. They just haven't mattered for a long time for guys. But in this era of communication, feelings are the currency. Feelings are the power. If you don't know how to effectively communicate, you're basically just ostracized. And because a lot of guys can't really provide like we've used to been able to, what else can we offer? I don't have the emotional connection or support, and if I want to give that, most guys, it's like I've been saying, you don't want to be good at what you don't want to do. Like, of course, a guy can emotionally connect and vibe with you and do that. But I'm a guy, and I will tell you, but in my opinion, I would not like to do that. I would not like to do that all the time. I want someone who just kind of shuts up. And, maybe we talk about problems, maybe you argue about problems sometimes, but, it's a regular thing. Don't want to be talking about my feelings. And maybe that'll change. Hopefully that'll change when I find the right person. Who can actually communicate their feelings in a way I like and appreciate. But in general, especially in a first date situation, like why would I want to, get all deep and emotional and philosophical about, your last ex or whatever the fuck we're talking. It just doesn't appeal to a lot of people. A lot of males, probably. I don't know, I feel like I'm a little bit different than the average guy. I mean, look at the MMOs I play. Let's be real, a little bit different, a little bit different. But yeah, I feel like those acts of chivalry and service that a lot of guys were so free to give are slowly becoming a lot more of a burden just because of, you know, the ease of access to it. Like I said with the VTubers and stuff, it's very easy for me to just sustain and act like this oxytocin is coming out. You know, maybe I'll just grab a pillow and hug it when they say they love me, instead of putting up with a lot of stress management and, you know, relationship catering and all this bullshit. And this is just me coming from a guy who rarely ever talks to people. I find it easier to not talk to people. And it's just because I have confusing conversations, because I like to talk about weird things, you know? I am the guy that challenges you on the first date and starts to talk about that crazy shit, but it's just never worth it to continue from there, because I just see so many flags of the bull color. So many blood flags. Blood flags. Yeah. And classic overthinker, guys, when you're a classic overthinker, you gotta realize your entire mind is like this map. It's a dark zone. It's never gonna get bright. It's never gonna get light. The only way to make it bright is to stop thinking. You have to throw all that shit to the wind and be like, if I love this person, I'm gonna have to think less and do more. I'm gonna have to think less and love more. I'm gonna have to take more actions to show that I love them. And they don't have to be physical, like gift actions, like do things for her. You know, you have to. An action is validating someone's feelings, and an action is listening to their problems. An action is taking a moment to feel what they are feeling. So, when I say roller, all complaining about, you know, guys not putting in effort, it's because it's truly, like, not taught what this effort is. You know, a lot of people are taught the effort that they want, or, you know, and it's funny that girls are teaching this. The effort that they want is somehow like a currency, or like a monetary, like a physical thing. You know, it's really not. But the problem is, as well, the darkness of the world. You know, it's just like these Google ads. You get into a relationship, and you're like, oh, I don't want to see other girls now. So you start, or I don't want to see other guys now, whatever it is. So you start, you know, blocking guys and blocking shit on social media. But then, you know, what does Google do? Google's gonna show you more of that shit. They're like, oh, what, you're interacting with this? You don't want to see that shit? That causes a reaction in you? Probably hate, probably anger, probably humor, probably horny. Give them more, give them more. Keep them on the app. Keep them on the app. Come on now. And so, you know, just we have very little self-control. We are in an instant gratification landscape, and I think that nothing has been more apparent than that, than the porn industry, the NTR category. You know what I'm saying? People have zero self-control, zero sustain. We can't keep ourselves off of it. And like I said, it's just because we're being fed it constantly. Like, you can't really get away from it. I'm a YouTube addict, so, you know, on YouTube, there's a lot of crazy stuff. YouTube Kids, there's a lot of crazy stuff. And just from the plethora of the stimuli that we're constantly feeding ourselves, you know, how could you just stay with one person or be in one singular thing, you know, in reality, when it takes a lot of work to do that? And all of the trials and tribulations, a lot of your friends are going to tell you to just leave them. And, I mean, you shouldn't be talking to your friends about your relationship in the first place, so that's a whole nother story. And, you know, just a lot of things in society will lead you to believe that, you know, you can just do better, get better, be better. And sure, maybe we can. But relationships are work. In general. They shouldn't be easy. It should be a job. It should be a duty. It's not a right. It's not a right to have a girlfriend. It's not. It's not a right to start a relationship with someone. Anyone. A friend. It's not a right to have companionship, you know? It's a gift. Just like in this game, you have to do a quest. A whole quest to be able to recruit people. Sure, they give you some random friends at first. But you can't just spawn into the game and be like, all right, friends, snap, snap, come to my aid. All right, girlfriend, snap, snap, come to my aid. And then when they don't work out, you're just like, well, I'll find someone who is exactly what I want, and I won't have to do anything. I won't have to change a thing. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. But one side is being told that is how it works, and the other side is being told work harder. That's not how it works. So it's a little toxic nowadays. It's a little toxic. The darkness of reality is that we're being fed basically the same thing with different utensils, you know? Motherfuckers over here eating with their hands, barely getting the food in, and then motherfuckers over here with a fork and being like, oh, this is so hard to eat. Oh my god, how do you guys eat this stuff? This is so difficult. Oh, I need help. I need help. This fork doesn't help enough. This fork does not help enough. I need like a vacuum. And shit is kind of crazy now because of it. We're all a little vindictive. We're all a little angry. We're all a little resentful, you know? And you bring this all into new relationships because, you know, how can you not bake that into someone new you're meeting? Those are your real feelings. I'm not saying ignore your real feelings. Like, why would we do that? But you have to realize everyone is their own person. Everyone's been hurt in some ways. Heartbreak is a natural part of human life. Betrayal is a natural part of human life. It's been going on for years, man. Remember back in the day when Jesus saw all those people fucking at the church? Happens. Still. To this day. People still fuck. In churches. So, always remember, things will get better. Draft your statement of neutrality. I'm not saying, you know, because a lot of people with Lead You Believe, like, spread more kindness, be more open, go out and meet more people. Nah, man, most people are trash. I'm saying, real talk to you, 110%, most people are fucking garbage. So draft your statement of neutrality, you know? Come in with that. And of course, you hate this saying, but you have to work on yourself. I don't know why people just think staying stagnant and being chill is fun. It's not. It's just what you've normally been doing. You'll have so much more fun if you just find a skill to grind and grind it. I don't care if it's an MMO. That's why I like these games so much, man. Because, you know, if I'm not doing anything, I'm just gonna fucking build on this shit. But that's all I gotta say. See you in the video. Next time we're gonna go to Utopia. So I hope you guys are excited for those chats. I probably have something fun to say about that, but nevertheless. I hope you guys have a good whatever day I upload this on. Remember to subscribe, remember to like, remember to do all the things that you like to do today and tomorrow and the next day. But the day after that, you need to chill. You need to chill. And then the next day, do something. And then the next...
And I got racks on. Spent 4 nights in the country, I like to take my rich ass back home. Glow so bright, I can make moonlight see this ain't like your pheromones. You want big gun baritone. Who want, we want your home. We old school like Chopper though. My old school made Dr. No. My old school made hard knock. Black on black, my coupe and strap, I'm balling on the hard top. I told y'all to call top, now my number call block. I don't miss like car shot. Hold up, yeah, cap on. And I got racks on. And I produce that diesel, I can put Shaq on. Nigga, your bitch gon' leave you, you ain't got backbone. I don't rely on people, I just go and bread chase. Whoa, this so fucking dope, I might catch a fed case. Whoa, you ain't getting money, nigga, then you dead weight. Whoa, got the drop on them, there you go, checkmate. Whoa, we gon' drop